In this lesson, we are going to complete the setup process for running .NET project in the browser. Very first, we'll open the terminal. You can use the keyboard shortcut, which is in my case, Ctrl plus backtick. It is different to yours if you are using Mac. Check your command window at Visual Studio Code. So these are the command window. You can look at it here. Alternatively, open from menu bar by clicking New Terminal. So go to the terminal and the new terminal. It will open up one new terminal here. By default, we are in the F directory. So we need to change the directory into the API folder. So this is our project folder. So let's type cd alumni API, then press enter. Now we are at the alumni API project folder. And we use the .NET command line interface to run our application. So we'll just type in the terminal .NET run and then press enter. This is going to build and run our application, and it may take several seconds to complete the process at the first run. Now look at the message we got here. Our application is listening on the page to localhost 5001 and localhost 5000. So what does this mean? This means our API project is running at localhost on the port number 5001 and 5000. One for HTTP and another for HTTPS address. As you see, we got HTTP address here and we have HTTPS address here as well. Now look at this command. We can use Ctrl C to stop our application. Now for this address, we need to make sure our browser trusts the certificate that is provided by the .NET SDK. And what we have to do is to accept that. So let's stop our application first using Ctrl C. Okay, I have stopped my application. Clear your window. Now we can use our .NET command, that is .NET space dev dash crts search https dash dash trust. Now press enter. You may get one security warning and you say yes. It may ask your password if you use a Mac operating system, but for Windows user, it will not ask any password. So if this command does not work or does not run on your Windows, then you will have to run this as an administrator so that your certificate will be trusted. Once it completes the run, you will see a valid HTTPS certificate is successfully added. So for me, I already completed that process before, so it says a valid HTTPS certificate is already present. But if you are using first time, you will get one successful message. So please move forward and run this command so that your certificate is trusted. Now let's run our application again. And we will go to the browser and take a look at our API application. So let's go to the browser, type https clone / localhost clone 5001 and press enter. Now you see, so we have the HTTP error 404 that the localhost page cannot be found, though it tells us that API project is listening on this address. So why this happens? This happens because this is an API project, and inside the API project we have controller. So let's open the weather forecast controllers. So this provides the routing endpoints for where we can find our application. And we see the word controller inside the square bracket, and this is a placeholder. It gets replaced with the first part of the controller name. In this case, weather forecast. Now you may ask, where does this controller come from? We didn't create this controller. Well, the answer is this controller was automatically created when we created our new web API project. It is just a template given by the Microsoft. At some point, we'll delete this controller, but for now, it is helpful for running and testing our project. So, this route means we need to use controller name after the local host to get the data populated by this controller. So what we are gonna do is we head back to our browser and type / then write weather forecast and press enter. Then you are going to see something like this. And now this is a list of weather forecast, just that to show that our application is working. And if we go back and take a look, we can see that a string array with different summaries of the weather. It could be freezing, bracing, chilly, or cool, or something else. We also have a property for an iLogger. We'll come back this later. And here we have some other information as well. None of these are important right now. So what we are really want to see is the controller endpoint, and this is the HTTP GET. So when we made that request from my browser, we are making an HTTP GET request to our API. And then what this does is it returns the result of these codes to an array. Now I'm not gonna explain what does these codes do here in details because we'll be creating our own controllers with our own endpoints and learning about the logic inside there as we go along. What we need to understand now, this is effectively is just returning an array, a list of weather forecast, and that's fine up to now. So more precisely, here is the weather forecast, and we are displaying that forecast to our browser. So that's the API doing right now, and I hope that makes sense. And we'll be looking at controllers in more details when we create our own controller because we are making an API. So we must have to understand how these controllers are working. And these are going to form the basis of our entire application. So don't worry about my lack of details at this stage. We'll come back later to our own API controller. Now, one final thing I want to show you here, which is necessary when it comes to open multiple terminals. How can we do that? You can use this plus sign to open another terminal, or you can use terminal, new terminal option to open another terminal. Now you see you have 3 terminals running here, and the multiple terminals are important when you are running 2 projects at the same time. So at some point we will have the Angular project. In that case, we have to run multiple terminals because we are gonna run .NET project, Angular project, and we have to also install something at the same time. So maybe we are gonna use 3 terminals at the same time. So that's all in this lecture. I will see you in the next lecture.